Hey,
Hey, oh, that's funny.
let's go.
Let's go.
But how you been?
I've been good. I've been good. You?
Oh, we're going. I'm going a lot longer than I thought it would be. And honestly, I don't feel tired.
That's cool. Have you been enjoying streaming all day, or?
I have, I mean, because it's been a while since I've done stuff like this to this extent. I mean, the last time I've done something for this much might have been, I want to say like almost a year ago.
Oh, okay. That's been a while.
Yeah, because like typically most of my streams nowadays are like 3 to maybe 4 hours.
Yeah, that's how I go too, with work and all that.
Yeah. So I mean, with my roommate being gone for like a week, I was like, I have to take advantage of the situation.
Oh, totally. It's been fun watching you stream all day, to be honest.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, I thought at some point I was gonna get like brain dead and just like not be that great.
It's usually after the I think like the 15-hour mark that's really
Yeah, probably.
at least for me it was.
Part of me's always want to do like a 24-hour stream, but I'm like,
I tried it once. It did not go well. I with Endlin Ring on top of that.
oh no. That honestly, this is what it might come to after like power wash, if I'm still not tired.
I'll
Because
tire you
honestly,
out.
the only thing that's tired really is my voice. But other than that, like I'm great. But like I don't know how some people do some of these like longer events. Obviously they do sleep in here and there, but even then, just knowing the fact that you're alive while you're asleep,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
don't
probably
know if
the
I'm comfortable with that.
yeah no, because like are you familiar with the Diarika?
Yes, a little bit.
This poor soul did like a whole subathon, and it was like if you gave so much money or enough subs, you would get like an hour or so onto the timer.
Oh yeah, that type of Sabaton. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, they had her go. So it started off with like 3 hours.
That's not too bad.
Her chat held her hostage for a month plus.
No.
Yeah. And the only reason that subathon ended was because she had to bargain with them. She was like, oh, because like I guess her community, they're like the little cute fox plush things,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I guess like every once in a while she gives the mascot like a new hat, and that's what they love.
Mm.
She's like, it's like if I get to go, I will draw you guys two hats.
Sounds like a good deal.
Well, chat being as strong as they are, they said make it three.
Poor her though. Like
I mean, but
it was a successful subaton, but at what
it
cost?
was yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's funded some of her vacations though, because she's gone
Definitely.
to Italy a couple times.
Oh, totally. I'm pretty sure she profited out of it, but
Yeah,
it still sounds exhausting.
yeah, indeed. What am I missing on the door? Oh, like that entire corner. Yeah, I feel when you get far in it, at least for me, I get super focused. Yes, that I think that's what happens, Sai. But I was gonna say, Cream. I want these people to like get to know you.
Okay.
So like let me just go off like basic questions. You know, what got you into this?
Ah, my God. Well, honestly, it's pretty much old YouTube. Uh, there was somewhat before Kizuna and I was kind of doing it that I remember, or people were playing with
Hmm.
the idea for a long time, and I saw Face Rig, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to do stuff like that. So I worked on a 3D models for way too long because I was never satisfied with what I was doing.
Yeah.
Uh, but then I lost the data of that, and I'm still traumatized.
Yeah, I remember.
And so I paid someone to do my Life 2D model, and now I'm doing that now. I'm still trying to work on a video game for my character's lore and shit, if I can find a motivation again.
I gotcha. No, that's actually awesome
And
though.
and then I started streaming more because I wanted to make friends and new connections because I was feeling lonely.
And if I remember correctly, you said this was like during the funny years, right? With the
E-
pandemic.
oh yeah, with the crown. Yes, 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 yes. The funny is,
Yeah.
yeah.
With the unfortunate like beer Rona. Oy.
Yeah, but I got into a pretty rough time during those times too.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's probably been like that for like a lot of us though during that time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not on your own with that one. I get you. Especially like for the people who are like essential, so to say. It was mostly work, and then you're like afraid of catching people or passing on whatever's going on, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to work at a restaurant kind of establishment, but certain stuff happened that made me had to stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, hopefully that was all like taken care of for the most part.
Most part, I still have like medications and I'm being followed. I have my ups and downs, but
Hmm,
it's it's better for sure.
that's good. And then, like, is there anything you want to do as for like anything more on top of like VTubing that you would want to do or like achieve?
Well, I definitely want to make like a video game with my V2 with like I guess me in it in a way.
Hmm.
Um, Other than that, it'd be nice to maybe do like concerts and shit because I do like singing. I just need to work on it a little bit more. And there's a lot of things I want to do. There's maybe too many things. I also wanted to do like a fashion brand at some point with using
Word.
like yeah, using like virtual avatars and stuff to promote it.
Oh, nice. I actually did not expect that.
I did design my entire like model, and then I asked someone to just draw it in their style.
Gotcha.
I like to use a lot of like historical stuff when I design my model and implement it to make it feel somewhat modern at the same time. Well, modern my aesthetic more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because like I've seen the model you use currently,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I can never place my finger on it, but I was like, it looks vintage or like Victorian in a sense.
Yeah, that was one
But
of my inspirations, yeah.
like at the same time, like I don't know if this is like the intent, right? but it kind of looks like it edges with like a little bit of steampunk, but that might just be me.
I'm not sure for steampunk. I'm more into the goth scene in general, so I went with that side. But you'd be right on Victorian, as the corsets and the secret pants, technically, the skirt there
Yeah.
is from the Victorian era.
No, but I love the aesthetic though. It looks great.
Thank you. Your model's great too.
Thank you. I knew nothing of what I wanted.
uh, I feel like a
It's
lot
like,
of people can relate to that though.
yeah, no, and then like I had so I had Design Mama, right? And
Hmm.
this is how the interaction went. She messages me on Discord and she's like, "My child, it is time." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "So, do you have your mood board?" I just sent her like a picture of Archer and I was like, "I want something like this."
Oh, okay.
Oh fuck, I did forget to change the
Oh, okay. So no, they didn't hear anything I just said.
Oh no, no, no. They
No,
heard
no.
it.
Okay, 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 okay. What did you forget to
I, f-
change then?
I forgot to change my title.
Uh,
Endgame.
I was scared it was a Discord again.
Thank you, Toast.
Uh, I always forget Discord, so that's always the first thing I do.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. We fixed it. Thank goodness. But yeah, so I had shown her like a picture of Archer, and I was like, "I want this." And she's like, "Well, you know, I can't do it a 1-to-1." I was like, "No, I know that, but I like this aesthetic." And then she was like, "Do you want the same skin tone? Do you want like the same hair? Like, what's going on here?" I was like,
Just make me cool.
just make me pretty." It was funny because like I found her through a VTuber. Well, he doesn't VTube anymore. He just uses face cam.
Hmm.
He's like, I don't know what he was doing because like he went from like, oh, I'm VTubing and using face cam, and they're two different channels. I was like, bro, why would you manage two different channels?
Good question.
But so the model got retired, and I saw his model before he got retired, and I was like, I like this character design. I need to know who the genius is. So I go through his Twitter, find the tag for my design mama. Why can't I set this down? There we go. Oh, come on. And the thing that completely won me over was like her sussy art.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
just the art.
the amount of like what's his name? Novelet and Rossley art.
Yeah. Hmm. Not, I'm not. That's not ringing a bell. I'm sorry if you were reading an insert.
Genshin?
Oh, hi, Toast. Sorry, I just saw it. Welcome in, welcome in. Not enough hydration. Yep, I'm gonna drink now. Thank you for the redeem. Welcome in, welcome in. Anything else you wanted to ask me?
Uh, you mentioned concerts.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of concerts? Are we talking like whole life level stuff or?
I guess so. One thing that like really inspired me was actually like a Hatsune Miku live concert with like the hologram
Ah,
stuff.
yeah,
Um, the so I something to that caliber would be nice, but I would prefer probably start on doing more similar to Hololive, but also different.
yeah. Oh, I was going for that too. Is the potential reach for like corpo a thing or not interested?
I mean, I'm not gonna pretend I did not apply for Rishojo. I did. I was like, whatever happens, happens. Um,
That's yeah.
but I think I'd rather have my own corporal than join another one. Because I want to own my shit, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Well, I mean, with as far as I know, I think Vishoja they at least own the character and like the
Yeah,
stuff they get.
that's why like I when they were opening, I was like, oh, I'll try. Like I'm probably too small, but you know.
Because I would hate more than anything to be like, oh yeah, Hololive, and then you can't use your original design.
Yeah,
They give you
no.
one, and then you can't use it.
There's also a lot of like regulations, and I feel like I swear too much on a general day to to be like acceptable or something.
I mean, Callie's there. That's to count for something.
Yeah, no, that's true, but I don't know like
Special
how.
permissions,
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if I use any of my Quebec stuff, they're not gonna know, so it's probably gonna be fine.
right?
But I don't know. Like I would depend on the contract, because I would like to have all the resources that they have though in Corpo and stuff.
Yes.
Because oh my god, that would help so much. There's so much as an indie to do constantly, and when you're broke, it's not really
Yeah, it's not
feasible.
a fun time.
Yeah, no,
You're like, damn, I want to do this, but fuck.
exactly. So it's kind of like it's appealing and also not appealing at the same time.
Yeah, I I kind of battled between like the two like things I was thinking, right? Because when I applied for Vishoja, I was like, do I really want to do this? Because like numbers and all great. I really I really don't pay attention to it because like for me right now, it does me no good to be like
Mm.
looking at numbers.
Yeah, no, I don't look at numbers either.
Because people get so upset over numbers. They're like, oh well, why is so have this number and I'm still. It's like
Cause
either you're not
RNG,
genuine
bro.
or yeah, it's like either you're not genuine or you just haven't got the luck of the draw yet.
Yeah. Low key, I'm tired of seeing the bigger ones always saying, "Oh, it's hard work," and I'm like, "Bruh, that doesn't work." Like, yeah, part of it is. Don't get me wrong. A good chunk
Yeah,
of it
no,
is, but
for sure.
it's mostly like RNG and your access to resources and your abilities and what free time you have and stuff. It's a lot of things. It's not just hard work. Hard work is also very variable, like variable. It can,
Variable.
yeah, like a hard work for person A will be extremely different for person B depending on their backgrounds and shit.
Yeah,
And that Blaken's statement just is false for a lot of people who've been doing all the work, who've been doing all good, and hasn't got the success. And meanwhile, someone will get it overnight starting out. And those two avenues are fine. It's not being petty. It's just like a reality, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, it's like this statement being made. You're like, this is not fully what it is.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's a lot of RNG, a lot of connections, a lot of luck is involved, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
And it sucks because if you say, well, you got lucky, it kind of diminishes the person's hard work. But I mean, it's a huge part of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it with like when I was in the music business
Yeah,
where I've seen plenty of because like people record like their first album
yeah, yeah.
and plenty of people would hire the group to record for them. And I'm like, yo, it's like you have a very good voice. And I would tell them it's like you'll make it. And this was me being younger. Had I known, I would have never told them that.
Yeah, no, it's you. That's, to be honest, it's also kind of nice, but it's also like yay, but also like oh boy, will I though?
Yeah.
It's a complicated
Yeah, no.
environment.
But I mean, speaking of like I don't want to call it lucky.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure luck. Because especially for like what they go through. How about a round of applause for Mousy?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't have the button set up, but I applaud everyone,
Right.
cause good for her. I shared it on my Discord when I saw that she reached #1. I was like, woo!
So for sure that's gonna put a lot of eyes on the VTuber scene for sure.
Uh, and there were already a lot of it. It's just gonna extrapolate. Prop,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the right word.
Oh, I wish I could move this bike.
I wish I could move stuff too in this game sometimes.
Because this bike is just placed in such a horrible manner. And they're like, oh yeah, you gotta clean this nook and cranny somehow. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do gotta ask though.
Mm.
And if it's not too much to ask, what did you say in the audition?
I okay. I had never done any sort of audition slash application for an entertainment agency, so I
Same.
spent hours on YouTube trying to figure out what like actors would say and stuff like that. And essentially, if they I treated like a job application where I said this is what I can do, this is the ability, but I did it in a way that was kind of storytelling a little bit. I made a character, I had someone voice the other character interviewing me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've seen though some of the videos that some people made, and I was like, damn, maybe I did it
You're like,
wrong.
no, and then you see those, and they're the ones that don't make it. Like, how the fuck did you not make it?
Exactly right. Like, who the fuck made it?
Honestly, I want to know.
I'm low key curious. But also, I think I know like Visojo doesn't like to do waves, like how like Hololive and other companies like that tend to do. So I'm wondering if they
Yeah.
just end up picking one or two people from that interview too.
Well, I don't know how long that interview process is gonna be because I know it was the audition, they interview you, and that
Oh,
still
they
didn't
do?
guarantee you're in
Oh, okay. So, oh, that's interesting.
because they're only picking one.
Yeah, that's it. They're only picking one. And that's a little bit sad, but I get it. They like to know who,
The
and
individual.
yeah, as because they're
That
essentially Visojo is like a band. They want to make sure that they know everyone. Well, no, maybe in air quotes at this in this case, but
yeah. But I mean, it's a lot of resources going into like one individual. So I mean, I can understand why they only go with one. Because as far as I know, they all had their debut video too, and I can only imagine just let alone that one video would cost.
Yeah. I know they also said they would help like set up and stuff.
Yeah,
So, at least that was said in some of what the members said. Oh, that's to expect. So it was like,
yeah,
ooh, fun. But I'm sure they expected a lot of. I don't know. I wonder if they got more or less than what they expected. I'm curious about that.
probably. I mean, that's probably the reason why there was that controversy.
Oh, the first one. The first one was the first one was funny when it happened. Um, do you know the story behind it or?
For Kuro?
No, it's not. It's not Canine Kuro. Oh, you were you there when the first wave of this edition they did happened?
Oh, are you talking about like the most recent one?
No, the one before that. The reason why
For
people were skeptical.
I because I know that it kind of carried on over to the next one. The most recent one was because like, oh, they're just gonna get someone that's friends with the so and so.
Yeah, they're notorious for that. The thing is, okay, when a couple years ago, I think pre-COVID, a little bit. Oh, after I don't remember. They
Yeah.
did an edition actually, and there was a huge controversy because someone who had bought like a variation of Vshoujo website uh used it and got a copy of the documents or a signature of one of the members representing Vshoujo, and he was sending
Oh.
that to people who may or may not have applied for Vshoujo, trying to get their
Yeah.
information and then send the special police force. I don't remember their names.
Yeah.
And so that was a whole thing with Nuxtaku, and the people called it the Nuxtaku versus Visojo. And then after that, they went radio silence on the audition. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it was revealed that the person who actually had joined was Haruka Karibu, which was already pretty well, not pretty well established, and was already acquaintance at least with Iron Mouse and Cetreya
Yeah.
at the time. And my memory of it is a bit foggy, but that's what I remember from it. And that's why people were kind of like, oh, they're just gonna get their friends again and stuff like that because they remembered what happened the first time.
Well, I mean, if they have a reference of somebody, you can't really get mad at them for that though. Because I mean,
No,
if
exactly.
you're gonna pick like a nobody, or not to say nobody, but like someone that's not well known, compared to somebody who's already like beloved, it's gonna be like a simple choice.
No, and I understand it too. I'm not saying what they did was like awful, but it did kind
It
of
just
set
gave
a
like
false
a false
yeah,
pretense.
that's it.
Yeah,
Because they were expecting someone like essentially someone new, but in the end they got Haruka Karibu, which again, congratulations for her. Like, nothing against her, she's amazing. And but it did create this sort of like pretense that will they hire one of their own or people they know again?
yeah.
And I think Ivanito had echoed a pretty good statement. Like, if they ever like do an audition and they don't at least hire one person that isn't well known, then they probably should not host auditions and just keep it as invites.
Yeah.
Cause it's kind of cruel a little bit to put like people's hopes and dreams into, and then just to have it. Oh well, I didn't have my connections proper, so therefore I didn't get in and stuff like that. I'm sure they're not gonna repeat their mistake, but at this point it's just a wait and see game.
Well, I mean, they're not Niji. Let's be honest. I mean,
No,
Niji
no,
just
no,
kept on
way better than
yeah,
Niji.
Niji just kept on doubling down on like all the bad decisions.
Yeah, I am constantly surprised on how rapid fire spiraling this is becoming. Every time something new comes out, I'm just really concerned and confused.
right?
But a friendly reminder of many reasons why I never want to work for a Japanese company. Because that's not an isolated incident. I've heard many nightmare
Yeah.
stories from like just some maybe not as bad in my case, but I've heard a lot of really bad stuff going around.
Yeah. It's not really to like down talk on the Japanese, but like
No, no,
they
when
are
they work very hard, but they do have issue with the work culture in general.
yeah.
And that sucks for them, honestly. But I got slightly traumatized by their work culture. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just kind of astonished at like how certain things fly. And I'm just talking like as in general, right? Because like,
Mm.
did you ever recall the infamous I think it was like Tide or Dawn commercial that they had in Japan?
I'm gonna have to be slightly more specific, I think.
Okay.
Oh, is it the one? Is it the one where they wash like a person of color and then it
Yes.
comes out? Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yes. It's like that already sets the bar to what to expect. You're just like, oh, I don't know how they thought that was okay, but okay.
Yeah, that was that was a weird one.
But also they're kind of like the type that's like, which is not the right mindset, but
No,
they're like,
obviously, there's also different cultural differences, but when it comes to skin color, it's more or less the same.
yeah.
Unfortunately, they you know they still value themselves as superior. It's not like same, but you know, there's a
Yeah,
lot
but I
of
mean, that's everybody though.
yeah. It's not like they're an
Not
isolated
an isolated
incident.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I applied, I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't know what I was doing either. I still have my video. It's a little weird and the audio's junky because I did not know how to do the audio and I was rushing.
but it was so funny because they're like, "Oh, well, what do you want to do or what do you want to achieve?" And I was like, "What do you mean by this question? It's
That
such a loaded
there's
question."
that's such a loaded question, but also what were they looking for in terms of person?
Because so here's the thing, right? For me, I was kind of like, well, maybe I can help like another like a category of VTuber, uh, become a little bit more mainstream, right? Because like obviously you have Spanish speaking VTubers out there that are corporate, but you don't have
Mm,
like a bunch of them out there,
yeah,
or
same
that
thing for
or that are like
French.
as mainstream. So I was like, well, I want to use this opportunity to kind of like highlight other people. So like it's like obviously I would support the cause, but on the side I also want to have like highlight some other talents that are Spanish speaking to get them more mainstream. And I was like, obviously, I'm not the candidate to like launch it like that, but I would at
Mm,
least be able to like, because like, here's the thing, my Spanish is not the best.
it was
I
good to
I
me.
am I'm passable, I'm passable, but like when you're mixed Mexican and Filipino
Mm,
and you live in the United States, my mom and papa are gonna be like, you gotta learn English, bitch,
yeah.
because obviously the school system is not gonna teach, they're not gonna speak to me in Spanish. So held onto that. And then I had friends who were, fortunate enough to have parents that were actually teaching them Spanish on the side.
Mm.
So off of them, I was like picking up all the Spanish. So that's why I was like, I'm probably not the guy to do it because of like my limitations to like how much I can speak Spanish. But hopefully, I'm like the catalyst for something like that. And they didn't acknowledge it. They just said next.
Uh, Most likely did the same thing with me, to be honest.
Oh,
What do you think
oh,
about
Solace is.
this? Oops, sorry.
Oh no, Solace is asking, what's your favorite kind of food or culture food?
Uh, huh. Culture food. Well, I guess, I have to go with poutine since I'm from there. But food, mm, I guess spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Oh no, you know what? No, 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 what is it called? My dad makes it. It's a Greek lasagna. Hold on. I'll search for the name because I forgot. 'Cause
No, you're good.
I'm uh pasticcio.
Okay.
It's called pasticcio. It's basically a Greek lasagna.
I'm gonna have to look that up, or at least try to find a place that serves it, because I do love trying food at least once, and that's how you end up maybe almost choking on some dancing squid.
Dancing squid?
Yeah.
Oh.
So here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
When I was in my heyday with like the music industry, when I was just like
Yeah.
on tour, we had a chance to go to Japan, right? But
Oh, that's so cool.
I never got to fully enjoy it because they were like, "Oh yeah, so we'll give you a tour guide and you guys are supposed to go anywhere and everywhere with him. You cannot be on your own."
Okay. Okay.
And our tour guide wasn't worth shit.
Oh no.
So pretty much what we did was a bunch of work and never got to like go out and about to explore. And like the one time we got to do something, he's like, "Oh, there's this restaurant," and only because this motherfucker was most likely hungry.
Mm.
He's like, "Oh, let's go grab something to eat." And then I was like, "Well, what do you recommend?" He's like, "Well, have you ever tried a dancing squid?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "You should try it." And all he sees like these chopped up tentacles. I was like, "Okay, I mean, this is pretty close to like ceviche almost. I'll try it."
Mm.
They they spray like they pour like some random sauce on it, and it starts moving. I was like, "What the
Yeah, the
fuck?"
nerve are still alive, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool, but also terrifying, but delicious all at once. Definitely not for the faint of heart. What
No,
else are we
totally.
missing?
Was it good? Like how was the sensation of it or something?
If you're big on texture, it'll definitely fuck with you.
Oh no.
Because I mean, squid and all that's already chewy enough, but when you add like the whole like moving squid, it's more rubbery than you'd think it would be, and you're just like, oh no.
Mm.
But if I had the opportunity, I'd definitely go back just to like actually enjoy myself.
I want to go to Japan one day too, as a
I mean,
visitor.
yeah, I mean, from the very little that I'd done, I definitely recommend.
I need to practice my Japanese there, cause oof.
They say don't even bother
I know, but I want a minimal of it at least.
because they're only gonna talk back to you in English.
Oh yeah, ugh, I know. Oh, but then I can go français s'il vous plaît, and they're gonna get more confused. That would be funny.
Right. Because there's that like TikTok video with the
Mm-hmm.
girl just bawling her eyes out. It's like I spent years learning Japanese and they would refuse to talk to me in Japanese. What else is missing? What the hell?
Oh, this Patrick Hinge thingy. I don't know what that is. Oh, this thing? Yeah. Wait, how do I... Am I supposed to open the rock? What?
Oh
Oh!
yeah. Oh.
Oh!
Oh wow. Patrick, what are you doing? The whole outline of him right there.
There any other countries you'd like to visit other than Japan?
So here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
Uh, I like most of my travels are probably food based, and I really love Asian cuisine.
Okay.
So probably would do Thailand. Uh,
Oh.
Noisy says Malaysian food is spicy,
Oh, that's good. I like
and I
spicy.
love spicy. So definitely Malaysia, and also for the fact that he says like, oh, if you have like a U.S. wage, you're practically a millionaire in Malaysia. I was like, oh, okay.
Hmm. That's a little bit sad, though. I think.
Over?
Over? Well,
No,
that
no, like,
with the currency, like you're super, super
yeah.
rich, but
I told him I'd fly him to the U.S. once if he wanted to, and he refuses. And then other than that, like anything outside of like food related reasons, I'd probably just do it for the friends, obviously. And that's
more,
if they're willing.
more for the friends.
Yeah. So like for sure, I got like a couple Canadian friends that I would love to visit. Uh, I have a couple Aussie friends that I would love to visit as well. Not looking forward to the spiders, by the way.
No, that's the scary part of
It's Mother Nature's fucked up DLC pack.
that. I agree. I still blame Athena for this.
Athena.
She made them in the Greek
Oy.
ancient Greek mythos. She made them.
Oh. But as far as like favorite foods, it's just anything spicy, really.
Yeah, spicy food's always good.
Uh, wait, what? Bubble stain container. Oh, we forgot this. There we go.
To be honest, I thought it was done.
Pineapple panel. We're missing the top ones. What?
Weird, because I thought it was there, but I guess I wasn't. Is there a special shop for? Oh.
That's it. I'll bring the ladder. What the shit? It's not the pineapple leaf, is it? No.
Hold on, I'll try to
The
find
crown of the
it.
pineapple.
Is it like inside, maybe?
I doubt it. 'Cause I don't think this opens. No. The top pineapple panels.
Oh, I found it. I found it.
Let's go. Ah,
Hi, kitty.
oh, we had all the cleaning solution too. We didn't even bother using it. That's funny.
I never. I barely use them. I have a stockpile of them. I barely use any.
I only use it when you're like washing it and it doesn't do anything. You're just like, how much longer do I have to press down on this?
Yeah, no, same.
Right. If you don't mind, let me run to the restroom real quick.
No, I don't mind.
Coffee, coffee.
Oh, that brings me back memories. That episode was so funny. I only remember that one though. Oh, the little candy machine. Ah, I never realized it was the alphabet, and the B is on the side. Can I press buttons? Oh, oh, there's a snack. Give me the cup. No. Eh. Bus stations, restrooms, whatever. Let's pick one. I guess meanwhile I can try to figure out why the sound is doubled on my YouTube. Till he comes back. Hmm. Okay, so my mic is not double, but the sound, the Discord is. Is there a filter I'm not aware of? Oh, there was all this time, and hmm. I mean, it wasn't active, so technically it shouldn't have. Oh, there was all this time, and I mean, it wasn't active. Technically. Oh well, we'll see. When Cohen get back if he is double still. Let me open this chat. Maybe Toast and Butterfly say all of them. Coas chat. Anything you want to ask? While I'm here, we can party. He's not here. Bow,
Boomerang.
bow, bow.
Ooh, that I feel so much better.
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Your viewers are nice. They don't party when you're out.
Well, no, because someone has to like prompt them.
Ah,
What's up, Devil? What's going on? I mean, to be honest, I like when I'm not at work and I like actually have the chance to like watch you guys, I typically uh will have chat riot.
chat, right?
It's like they're gone riot and they just spam their righty emotes. It's great.
That's always great. To be honest, it's always I find it always fun when I come back and there's a couple of emojis just dancing. That's usually what I do when someone leaves a stream too.
Yeah, no, it's great, especially if they have like a good music playing.
Yeah. Speaking, I was curious about that. Is the music you use when you're on your just chatting screen is original OST or it's something that you found free or something?
My background music for the
Yeah.
library scene, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so I actually had I actually commissioned that.
You commissioned that? Oh, cool. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
so thank you. I was actually looking to replace it because the problem is like the intro song from the very beginning is
Yeah.
is copyrighted.
Oh no.
And I wanted something of that sense, but I knew it was gonna be a little difficult to like commission. And I didn't know how to approach the actual commission at first, which again, it's not me like hating on it because I love it, but it's not something that like specifically want for like the starting screen. So I was like,
Hmm.
we'll make that for the just chatting because that's a little bit more like relaxed, right?
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice fun. It's nice to hear it in the background.
But I for sure wanted like something a little bit more aggressive for the starting.
Hmm.
It wasn't that expensive actually. I think it was like 150 bucks.
Oh wow, that really wasn't too expensive. Like wow. I paid a lot more for mine. Worth
Oh
every
no.
penny.
Yeah, it's good though. It's real good.
Thank you.
I wonder if I can harass the person and gonna be like, hey, and by harass I mean commission. It's like, hey, are you available for like another commission? And maybe can we do this style? So I know he's done some of the Hololive stuff as well.
Oh wow, okay, he's popular.
At least for his music, but like what I don't understand, right? And I get it, like it doesn't translate over, but he streams on occasion and he doesn't hit as much. Like people love his sound bits, but they don't like to go to the stream for whatever reason.
What's wrong with his
I,
streams? Do you think?
no, I mean it's just him working on the song. I guess people like the product, not the work to get the product.
Yeah, work in progress can turn not every it's not for everyone. Which sucks because I feel like streaming is the best place to do work in progress stuff. Because you can
Yeah, I mean,
chat and you gonna go ahead, sorry.
oh no, I was agreeing with you.
Hmm.
And that, I mean, you can also like see what goes into it, have a
Yeah,
bigger
no.
appreciation for it.
I'm always fascinated. I watch a lot of not for music, but I do watch a lot of like work in progress stuff of various subject. It's always fascinating to see the
Yeah,
how it comes together.
I remember once I was watching someone put like a card together piece by piece
Oh.
outside of the usual like what's it called mass production model. but like by hand, piece by piece. I was like, oh my lord.
That sounds like a big project.
Yeah.
How long did it take? I'm curious. Do you know?
It took them at least 10 videos. After that, they stopped uploading, so
Oh,
I don't know what happened.
oh no.
Because there was never really there wasn't really like a public statement on their behalf. They just up and left.
Hmm. I hope they're happy and okay.
That's what I'm hoping for too. But I mean, in 8 videos, he had at least assembled most of the frame together.
That's good. That's good. How long were the
Okay.
videos?
Minimum they were like 8 hours.
Holy smokes.
There was a couple that were like 15 hours, 20 hours, but some of the shorter videos, like him welding things, not welding, like mounting places back onto the frame.
Yeah.
So we're talking like body, and then he would just put like the interior stuff in there.
Hmm. It's fascinating, but it sounds in
Excruciating.
yeah. Uh
Okay, how the hell do I get to the bottom of this bus? Okay. Do you ever have any issues like, or not issues, but like troubles trying to explain to like friends and family what you do as far as VTubing?
uh, my friends kind of understand. They're usually around my age, so they like the uh my best friend is Cinderella. She's also kind of VTubing, but she's usually using a 3D model.
Yeah.
Uh, my other friend is just this is cool. The but not necessarily for them. Like they understand what it is. Like they see me. My parents, they kind of are like getting it but not getting it at the same time.
Yeah, I can see that because they're not used to like you being able to control like an actual animation. They usually it's like, oh, it's a preset thing, you know,
Yeah, there's that, but also the concept of like being alive
content
is
creation.
nuts. Like, what do you mean you're alive? You know?
It's like the news, but a lot more funnier. That's what I mean by live.
Exactly.
And for once, people are actually glad to tune into something because if it's the news, everybody just goes,
Uh, yeah, it's I struggle with the news these days, to be honest.
"Yeah, no, I actively avoid the news because I don't want to wake up sad."
Yeah. Uh, I love Philip DeFranco, but I do struggle with the news.
Yeah, as much as I appreciate him making it digestible, I'm just like, why?
Yeah, just why is everything on fire constantly? Why doesn't it not stop? Make it stop!
Just remember, all it took was one gorilla, and we're now on this what's it called timeline.
We're on the wrong timeline. What about you? Like, do you explain it? Do you hide it?
I tried to explain it, at least to my parents, right? Because they're like, what do you do on the computer all day? I was like, one, I use this for like work, right? Because I have to run in a day from home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, obviously, if I'm gonna have to dedicate like a computer to this, I want to do something else. But
Mm.
this is like before I even got the job. The job just kind of like made me do this, and I was like, okay, well, I at least have the setup for this. But they're like, well, what do you do? It's like, well, I'm just your child on the internet. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, come on, you've said it before. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, when I mess up and you give me like that foul name, and like, oh, pendejo, it's like, there you go.
Pendejo.
That's what I am on the internet. And people love me. And they're like, well, why would people like tune in and watch you? It's like, I don't fucking know. I ask myself that every day.
Honestly, same though. I don't know what
Cause
I'm
like,
doing either.
cause like, honestly, I remember the days that like I would start, and it was just me and Nightbot for hours.
Oh yeah, I would try to get my friends in just so I can chat with someone.
Honestly, those are the best ones. That's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. That or when I was starting that I didn't really had anybody, I would like
Hmm.
make sounds a lot or talk about what's going on in the game.
Same. I remember like the first couple streams were just me ranting, and I remember like someone coming in is like, bro, it's like, who fucking hurt you? I was like, life did, bro. That's why I am the way I am.
Relatable.
Uh, but like a lot of it was result of like the thing I went through with about 2 years back. Definitely contribute to the whole like
Fun
former guard of
times.
civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll share it if you don't mind, but it's kind of like a little heavy.
Oh,
Well,
go
not necessarily
ahead. Go
heavy.
ahead. If you want to talk about it, go ahead.
I don't mind talking about it. I just feel like people question it and like it all ties together.
Hmm.
But in my last job, I was an unwilling participant to like a crime.
Oh, I think I heard a bit about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
extortion is not that fun.
Oh no.
And the worst part is like they call the store and they're like, "Oh yeah, we were there earlier and it was busy and you couldn't help us out." And I was like, "Well, I mean, we can help you out now. We're kind of dead." And it immediately became like, "Well, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna follow all our instructions, and if you don't, we're gonna shoot up the place." I was like, oh, it's this situation."
Oh no.
And so it became like a have to take the money out of the drawer, out of the safe, and as much as I attempted to like buy time and not take out the money or like wait till like police would show up, which by the way, the most disappointing response time to in my experience,
Oh, how long did they take?
it took them and it took them a fucking hour.
Oh, that is way too long. Holy smokes. Let me guess, they said, oh, we get false alarm all the time?
No. They didn't
No?
even tell me they didn't even tell me nothing. In fact, they said heads behind your back. And then it went to like, oh, you're probably looking for money for your next fix. You're probably like working
Wait,
for a drug runner.
they blamed you?
They blamed me,
What?
and that was the officer that I dealt with. I still remember the fucker's name to this day, and it pisses me off.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No. Oh no.
So, because like this entire guy, the entire time, this guy's just like making the worst assumption. He's like, oh, you know, you you go to church. I'm like, no. He's like, you should probably start going. I was like, you should probably not be judgmental.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be
Doesn't
laughing, but
No,
I
no,
was
no, no,
kind
no, no. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I had a mouth on me the entire time. I was like, well, it's like, don't y'all not cast the first stone? Like, what's going on here? And then like, it became like, well, it's like, is this what you want to hold on to? Is this? Are you gonna like not tell us anything? Because if you tell us otherwise, the judge is not gonna believe you. It's like, I'm gonna hold firm on my statement. And luckily, this was before my Miranda rights were read, so they had to
Okay.
throw that out.
Oh my god.
Because I genuinely thought I was like in the clear and like I was safe, which was the biggest mistake.
Where's the inner wheel? What's the inner wheel?
I'm thinking it's oh, if it's the gray spot in the back. Got it.
Uh,
And then outer wheel is gonna be
the
the rim
the
on the
rim.
outside. Found it.
Okay, good.
So I get driven to the jail, right?
Hmm.
And officer fuck ass over here was like, what size shoes do you wear?
Ah,
Because I'm assuming I'm getting my prison shoes, right?
yeah.
And so they sit me down, I take my shoes, it's like, you sure you never been to prison before, boy? Like you clearly know what you're doing. He's like, well man, it's like you asked me for my shoe size, and I doubt you're gonna trust me with steel toe boots unless you're asking for my cock size indirectly. I don't know what you want. And I spent like a
Okay.
whole night. I spent a whole night in prison, in jail, pretty much. And I got bailed out. Never ate for like about 36 hours. I was upset.
I bet. Wow, they didn't eat for. Wow, that's a long time.
Well, see, when they finally brought the food out, they called the people out who were gonna get bailed.
Really?
Yeah, so they're like, "Oh yeah, so you got to leave this here." I was like, "Bro, you just handed it to me." And then I open the box and I see like it's some stale Fruit Loops with like a hot dog bun with like peanut butter and like a packet. I was like, "I'm good. I'll
Oh,
leave this here."
wow.
I'm just kind of glad we all agreed on the same thing because, like, mind you, this was all during the pandemic, so they were like, "Oh yeah, 6 feet, 6 feet away," and then they throw you in a room with like 40 fuckers. You're just like, "What was all this about then?"
I don't know. They. My greatest guess would be that they just wanted to arrest someone
Don't
to
have the
arrest someone.
space. Yeah. Well, luckily, like I had a pretty good attorney that like helped me out with all that and
That's good.
went
Were
through
you?
all the evidence. And it turns out that even the officer on the case could not write down for the life of him on the report what was going on.
Wow. Somehow he still has
So,
a job.
yes, they get immunity somehow. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I bet you
And
he was working with those guys. That's my conspiracy theory. Put on your tinfoil
that's
hat.
my thought cuz like the fact that he was like on point with like what he was accusing
Yeah.
and for the situation that it was, I was like, "Excuse me?" But like I sat down with the judge, I sat down with the DA, with the officer, and even the judge is like, "What the fuck is he doing here?" It's like, "Did you not read what was on the actual like paper when you wrote down the report?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Then how the fuck did you like get this so wrong?"
Oh
But
my god.
that put my life on hold for like 2 years, right?
That was
Couldn't find a
two
job.
years?
Well, I wasn't in jail for 2 years, but like I was bailed out waiting for my actual trial for 2 years.
But because you were on waiting for trial, it. Oh no.
Yeah, so when people would look up my record, because even my job like did not have my back. They're like, "Well, why'd you do it?" I was like, "I'm not talking to you until I get my attorney." And here's like, "Well, we're not talking to the attorney." It's like, "Well, I guess I'm not talking to you then." He's like, "I followed your guys' robbery procedure, and I'm in this situation. I'm not talking to you guys. Fuck all y'all." And when it came down to it, they gave me the phone call, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna let you go because of loss of trust." I'm like, "So what did I do exactly to make this happen? Because loss of trust is not an actual reason to like fire me. You have to tell me exactly what I did, word for word." He's like, "Oh no, well it's loss of trust." I'm like, "Well, did I pick my nose, wipe a booger on you? Like what's going on?" Because if you do that to me, I'll lose some trust. And they're like, well, we can't give you the reason. It's like, well, you're gonna have to tell me the reason, or my attorney's gonna be very happy to help me out with that. And even the attorney was like, yep, they can't do that.
Yeah.
So while I was on trial waiting for that, which again took like about 2 years because I had to like fill out unemployment for a while
Yeah.
and receive nothing.
Aw.
Um, that went through, and then they were like harassing my employer. They're like, "Hey, so you have to give us the reason why you're firing him." And they're like, "We have no reason." And they're like, "Okay, well, it's like, well, he's gonna get unemployment, and you guys have to pay a portion of that."
They never paid?
Oh, they paid.
Oh, that's good.
Like most of my unemployment pay came from my employer,
They better.
and then the motherfuckers had the audacity to be like, "Oh, well, we would like to offer you your job back." I'm like, "Fuck you."
Most likely to avoid to pay the unemployment.
Yeah, probably. And I was like, "No, I'm good actually." Because like I had already had some problems with like the employer before. Because
Yeah.
honestly, they don't know what they're doing. They're like, oh well, I used to work at these stores. I know how it runs. It's like, yeah, dude. It's like, but shit, the times have changed, right? People are not as polite as they used to be. Crime has gotten more sophisticated. But like, for for a good chunk of that time, I had like a lot of night terrors, right?
I bet.
And a lot of reflection of like, what could I have done different? And like, as much as I try to like change my thought, like I was like I would have done it exactly how I done it because like
No, you kept yourself
I don't
safe. You technically did what was right. It's just the cops were not copping.
yeah. And for a while I was just like angry,
Hmm.
like I don't know what it was, but I was like it wasn't even like me mad at the situation or myself. I was just like angry and I don't know why. If I could explain it I could, but like for at least a good part of those 2 years I was like in a really dark place.
Hmm.
And a lot of the lore for myself is actually like around that
Oh, I see.
because it's like I feel like I did the right thing over and over again, and then at the end of the day, like it was pointless.
Yeah.
So like now for me, a lot of the times when it comes to like I don't want to say charity work, but like to be like a good Samaritan or yeah, like good Samaritan, it's difficult for me to do that.
Do you mean like helping an old lady cross the street stuff, or?
Well, I mean, old lady, I'd probably do it, but like just anybody willy nilly, I'd just be like very cautious or just unwilling.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, I guess when you help people, you do the right thing, and then the people like still like treat you like shit afterwards. You'd be more cautious. I understand.
Yeah. So that's how this this whole thing became a thing. Because honestly, without that incident, I probably would not be streaming.
I don't know if should be thankful or.
I don't know. I don't know. It's an unfortunate it's a fortunate misfortune.
Yeah, it's definitely sucked. I mean, your whole life was on pause, but if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be streaming. So,
Yeah.
how to make the
Because
best out of the bad situation, I guess.
yeah, because I mean, when I got the payout, the first thing I did was like, let me get a PC, and it was because like during the whole thing with like the world being funny, I wanted to get like a PlayStation 5, but we all know how that went.
Oh yeah, I heard that you got locked out because of silly reasons.
there was like a lot of s- was it scalpers?
Oh yeah, I remember. Yes, getting a PS5 back then was insane,
Impossible.
and they did nothing to stop it, which was even
Nope.
sadder.
They're like, oh, we already made our money. That's on you guys at this point.
Technically, it's illegal, and they should do something about it, but the government's not gonna do anything because it's hard
Yeah.
to track and blah 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 blah.
But the tipping point for me was like when I was playing Destiny. Unfortunately, I was playing Destiny still. You know, how much more miserable could it be? Oh yeah, I just play Destiny on top of this. But I was doing a I forgot what they're called. It's not a raid, but it's like the smaller content. Like it was called the Pit of Heresy. So it's
Okay.
like I think it's called like a dungeon. And I was doing it solo, and then out of nowhere I get kicked out of the game, and PSN's like, "Oh yeah, you're getting banned because you're like cheating." I was like, "Dude, it's like I'm playing first of all PvE content on my own, so I don't know who the hell could report me for this." Try to fix it with PSN and Bungie, but it was mostly PSN that said I was the one doing the funny stuff.
Hmm.
They refused to change it. I was like, you know what? Fuck PSN. So me wanting to buy a PS5 died that day.
I can understand why. I'm just stumped, and because PS5 is over PS4 or just anything PlayStation, it's not easy to crack. Well, easier today, but it's not.
Yeah,
It wasn't that easy. So like cheating on it, it requires actual effort. So I don't know if it's worth it in the end. I know a lot of people also cheated in Dark Souls, which I thought was always funny.
yeah.
I had one.
Any?
Oops,
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
I was going to talk about my like encounter with like robbery because I did work at a small uh convenience store with a gas
Okay.
station, and I think I was in my 20s, and I was doing night shift alone.
Oh no.
And then this dude comes out of the register and he asks for like a cigarette. So I'm not questioning it or anything. And he's like, "Well, this is a robbery. I have a gun," but he doesn't have a gun. Okay, well, he doesn't pull it out at least. And for some reason, my dumbass didn't take it seriously. And when he
Oh
tried to pick
no.
up the packets of cigarettes, I just like shoved them on the floor. And then he goes on the counter, grabs my hand, and goes on to go and like lunge on me, and grabs my arms. And I'm like, okay, 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 get the money. And he just took like $60 and left. And
Wow.
you want to know how it took the cops about 15-30 minutes to arrive? And this cop station is right across the street.
Bro, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, well, we get a lot of false alarm. That's why I was asking if that was their excuse.
You're like, motherfucker, you're across the street.
I know. The station is right there. Like, I never got an update on the guy. I think they never got arrested. And what a fucking loser, though.
You do all that for 60 bucks.
Yeah, because the register is not the way that it works for us. When I worked, it was like the maximum was always like $100 total. So like with bills and everything, and I was lower.
Yeah.
So like he got like jack shit. Couldn't even buy a cartoon of cigarettes with that. Like good job, you idiot.
You played yourself.
Yeah. By the way, don't fight the people who robbers you. Chat, don't be me. But yeah, that was my experience with robbery.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened.
Eh. I was traumatized for a bit and then I went back to work like nothing happened.
On a lighter note, anybody in particular maybe inspire you to like get into the scene, or was it just like on a whim?
Uh, when I officially started was definitely more on a whim. But I have to say, like, there was a lot of, like, entertainers that inspired me to, or at least to give it a push. Because back in, like,
Yeah,
if you actually, like, do the command on my channel to see the age, it's over 10, my channel is over 10 years old.
yeah,
And, like, obviously, like, Iron has definitely played a huge role in whether, like, she's amazing and I love her, I respect
yeah. No,
her.
she's definitely inspirational.
And I always liked, all the YouTube Smosh, like, like back in the day with Smosh and Markiplier and stuff like that, and like, they looked like they were having, well, not anymore, but back in the day they looked like they were having somewhat fun, and I was like, I want to try that.
Yeah,
I want to connect with people, I want to make friends and stuff, and I would say that I have dabbled in streaming before it, like, became, like, this huge thing now.
I get you.
Because, like, 10 years ago, like, Twitch was starting to get its name. They were like, oh yeah, you should go there instead of YouTube and do other shit, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, it seems like for YouTube you have to not only compete with like all the gaming channels and like God forbid all the React channels, but you also have like the how tos, the conspiracy theories, and it's like it's oversaturated so much.
Yeah, there's like really everything on YouTube, which is nice, but also it kind of draws back on the smaller creators.
Yeah. Did you hear about the changes that they're making to it though? That supposedly is gonna start pushing like smaller creators,
Well, about
depending on
damn
like
time, to be honest.
but there's like a condition to it as well.
Oh yeah.
I forget what it was. I think it was like how many hours viewed within a certain time frame.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds a lot like YouTube stuff. Because, like,
I mean,
even to get your channel monetized on YouTube, you need to have a minimal amount of hours that people watched you, and it's
yeah.
probably the same.
Okay. So you said mousy.
Mm.
Was there like anything particular about her that like kind of was the inspiration, or was it just
Uh,
like seeing them have fun?
Seeing them have fun mostly. Well, you have similar thoughts when it comes to, like, the way we started. We were both somewhat lonely and wanted to connect with people. Uh, we both have certain handicap. Obviously, nothing. I'm nothing like Iron Mouse on that regard, but we both have certain difficulties and stuff. That I don't know. I thought it was really nice and inspiring. Like, oh, maybe I can do it after all, and don't have to be afraid of all my shit, you know.
Yeah.
And I tried, and at some point, I did end up meeting some people, and I made some meaningful friendships, and I'm quite happy. Like, do I wish I could be slightly bigger? Sure, I guess, because a lot of the project they do are amazing, and I wish to be able to do those type of things. But I'm also scared of becoming too big.
Yeah, no, I get that. Because I've thought about that too. I was just like I would love to quote unquote make it right, but then like at
Yeah,
what cost? Because then you hear like all these like stories right where people get weird.
yeah. It's a weird situation where, especially with VTubing, I feel because it's like behind a virtual avatar, where We're kind of living
where
in an
people,
era where essentially the way we have to promote ourselves is like products. So usually more like object like.
yeah,
Buy merch, buy this, buy that. It's almost like an ownership concept, almost like you're buying a product rather than enjoying a service like television or something.
yeah,
And it makes it at least that's what I think. It's probably not true, but that's what I think I'm noticing. And because there's that productification of people, it kind of erases the humanity behind it, I suppose, and it
yeah.
makes people forget. And it's not like it was excluded to the internet. Like even way back before the internet became like the main source for people, um, there were cases where they had to protect artists from certain people because they would send bombs and stuff, right? Like they had threats
Yeah,
still. So it's not like it's anything new, just the internet kind of amplified it by a million.
yeah.
And I don't know how to like I guess it would have to go with an entire like re-education program, I guess, to how to treat people, you don't know them, calm down.
But I feel like the thing with like VTubers, right? It's like since we're hidden behind that, there's more of an allure to figure out like who we are, or like what
We
where do we work type stuff. Because like I've seen that unroll, and I'm like, sheesh,
I can
man.
understand the curiosity, but there's a limit to that. Like will not change anything to your life at the end of the day
Yeah, honestly,
to know who those people are behind the camera. Just enjoy what's in front of you. But other people like really needs to know, and that obsession is the part I don't necessarily get.
yeah.
And it created a bunch like, well, just go on Twitter for a day and you'll find a couple stories.
Yeah.
There's like
I was like,
one every second Tuesday at this point.
honestly, it's like it's a dumpster fire.
it's, it's definitely a sad reality that people are assholes. People think you owe them because you support them, and again, because of the productification of the person or the entertainer, if you will. Well, they kind of have this feeling of ownership, which
Yeah,
some that thing was kind of banned for quite a while. The big S word. You don't
yeah.
own people for a reason. But like, yeah,
Is this still banned?
the word.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not gonna like jinx. You always have to dance around those things anymore.
I
Uh,
mean, in that context, definitely don't do it. But I've known to be quite the quite the one, especially when it's like attractive models. It's like oh my lord.
no, no, but that's different. That's different, right? You're
That
not.
now it's just gooning.
Yeah, yeah, but that's different though. Like it's not like
It's not as scary.
right, because you're enjoying what you're seeing in front of you. Again, there's a difference between like like owning a model and having a sense of owning the person because you got that model.
Yeah.
That's that was I was trying to explain. I guess I don't know if I'm clear.
No, no, you're clear. I'm just saying I miss the days where I could just be like, I'm such a for you.
Ah, yeah, no, no. These days,
Because now Twitch is like, no, no, no.
well, Twitch, YouTube, pretty much any platform, and I get it. Like, there's a lot of bad people out there,
Yeah.
but like, let me use them. Sometimes it's important to use them. You can't just throw like a blanket statement.
Yeah.
You know. The reason
Like
why
sometimes in the
sometimes,
professional,
oh, oops, sorry, go ahead.
just like how sometimes in the professional world, it's like, nope, you can't use swear words. That's improper. It's like sometimes you have to. to to
Yeah,
to to make someone understand how ridiculously fucking stupid they are.
exactly. One of the reasons sometimes I go like popsicle or shit pickle is because of I was poking fun of those like regulations, but then it kind of became second nature. It became a beast of its own.
Nice.
And honestly, sometimes it's just funny. Um,
I've always thought about like some of the things I want to do with like the model in the future. Because like
yeah,
obviously I've had like some inspirations for like some of the things I want to do. Uh, when I first started the whole stream thing, I was already like
yeah,
a fan of Hololive, and I was like, oh, I'm probably not gonna be like entertaining. But then, because like people love the high energy, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's typically what you get, right? But then you find those gems every once in a while. They're like low energy or like they're kind of like tame, and then it just like gives you hope. You're like, oh, I give off this same type of energy. I can do it too,
yeah.
and
It's
people
nice to see
might give me a
variety.
chance.
Yeah, I couldn't be high energy if I wanted to. Unless maybe you give
I'm
me
just,
10 monsters. Maybe
I'm
not.
just,
Maybe then.
yeah, no, it's because I'm like always too tired most of the time. Like today was the exception. Obviously, like even then, I was still kind of mild, but if I probably was a little bit more energetic, this stream would be a lot shorter. And also, it's like it's the weekend for me. I'm just trying to enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
trying to like
exactly.
put too much energy into something like that. As bad as it sounds.
Oh no, I get it. You want to enjoy. You want to enjoy what you're doing too. It's not like
Yeah. Imagine if I had to put so much energy. I'd be crying behind the camera most of the time. If that was the case. I'd be like, oh shit, here we go again.
man. I would
But there
have to
was that.
fake my
Oh,
energy if I had to be high energy all the time.
yeah.
Oh,
But
you're
there was that.
yeah, there was
And
that.
then like obviously like the realization, because like here's the thing.
Hmm.
Like if you've seen any of my like not safe for work art, it's not really myself. Because I feel like you can only do so much with like the male physique. Because like I look at it, I'm just like, there's no way this is the peak design. Like this seems like it's so rushed.
Hmm.
So a lot of the times I will opt for like someone to partake in it. Because you can only do so much with like a shirtless character, and you're like, oh yeah, this is my NSF. It's like, no, this is like spicy, but it's not NSFW
Hmm.
per se. So like for a while, I was like, maybe I want to become like a loot, like an actual like full on YouTuber. But then the connotation is like, oh well, it's a man,
Uh,
and that's another thing that like kind of terrifies me.
yeah, they fortunately men has a pretty bad rap online
Yeah,
for reasons that can be explained, but the general statements of it is not great.
yeah. Because ironically, like it was also like Project Melody that kind of got me on board with the VTubing thing. Because I was like, well, I'm kind of a menace to society, so I would kind of like to be able to express that, but also be hidden.
Hmm. Honestly, Project Melody was an inspiration to a lot of people, which she was almost like a a pillar, I guess you could say.
Oh, for sure she was a pillar. Because I think she was kind of doing her own thing before she got into Bishojo, and then Gunrun had found her. So right as
Yeah.
about she's about to like quit, he's like, "Hey, I love what you do. Keep on doing what you do. Let me provide you some resources for like you to keep on doing this."
Oh, wasn't she one of the founders of Isojo with
She
Iron
was
Mouse and
the
Yanners?
founder.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, because she found them later on.
Yeah, she raided the Iron Mouse. I think that's how Iron Mouse got in, or
Yeah,
if I'm remembering correctly.
yeah. I don't remember the exact details, but pretty much she like found them all one by one. That's what I want to know how it feels like. It's like, oh yeah, you just mind your own business, and then, like someone big who's starting off like some corpo, or not someone big, but like someone starting off a corpo, and it just takes off. Because
I
I'm curious to know if like maybe potentially were there other candidates that were like, oh yeah, would you like to join it? And they say no, and then it takes off.
oh yeah, that happens to a lot of people surprisingly, and then they're like, well,
Well, there goes my opportunity.
yeah,
That was literally me with Nvidia.
Nvidia, yeah.
Yeah, because they were like some small little tech company, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, if you buy stocks, this is like bullshit.
It is. Stocks is a very risky game.
Yeah,
But then you see them succeed, and you're like, oh god damn it.
Apple's another one.
Yeah. I think Forrest Gump has a story around it too,
Yes.
where he thought it was like a fruit company, but then it wasn't, and then it became really, really, really successful. The
Yeah.
monster that it is today. There's a
But
timeline
jeez.
somewhere where he did do it. What does it look
Yeah.
like?
I think it was like towards the end though. Oh wait, no, he had invested into it like sooner into the movie.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He thought that it was a company who was selling like apples and shit, and he didn't question it or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Because it was Dan that invested it for him, right?
I think so. Yeah. It's been too long though.
Damn. I gotta find a way to do like a movie watch along. And it's in Discord. I feel like they'd be great.
Yeah, those are always fun. I do them once in a while with my own friends. Just chill and gotta do a little like maneuver on the web browser, but
Yeah.
once you figure that out, it's easy peasy.
VHS capture card, let's go.
VHS capture card, that's funny.
I don't even know if it would work actually.
If it has, if your VHS thing has three color output, and then you have that into a converter with HDMI, you could potentially, yeah. I've done it with like retro games actually. Some games I
Okay.
I plug it to my like GameCube, Nintendo. I could do Nintendo 64. I did it for PS2.
Definitely have to look into that for sure then. And then when you see like the monstrosity of like wires and stuff,
I don't mind the wires, but a lot of people do.
I do.
I'm like I'm just used to this chaos at this point. It's no biggie. And everything's better connected and stays better connected when it's wired.
Yes, for sure. Because like everybody's like, oh, get wireless. I'm like, why? It's like, oh, it's gonna like help you keep it neat. I'm like, I don't want to worry about like having to charge something constantly.
Yeah, that's one of the main issues is the charging and then the connection's not great, so it lags and then
Yeah, it's just a lot of things I'm not mentally prepared for. Oh, did you ever figure out the mix it up thing?
Nope.
Because you were trying to set overlays, right?
I was literally just trying to open it at this point. Like the overlays thing is
Oh
because I saw in like an update and you had just done your thing and I was like, does your thing use overlay? uh
no.
but my thing doesn't even open. Like you click on it and it nothing happens.
Hmm.
I tried to see if maybe the firewall was blocking it, so I tried to like make it okay, it's allowed, but no, it's still nothing. I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of sad because I was going to add some more redeem stuff, but I was like, okay.
It gave me issues in the beginning, and then I had to like kind of log in under a new account to make it work, which didn't cause any issue.
That's interesting. No, for me, I can't even open, like I can't log in or anything as it doesn't open.
Huh.
And I don't know what the problem is.
That is a scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the old reliable uninstall and reinstall.
I read about it on their, and I was trying to figure out how to do it, but then on their website it says uninstall won't actually fix all of your problems, and I'm like, bullshit.
I mean, that's what they say about alcohol, but it works pretty well
Right?
in my experience.
I don't know.
I mean, hey, if it fixes outside boo boo, it has to fix the inside one.
Bingo. I mean, I've done that. Usually, like, most companies will tell you, have you tried uninstall and reinstall before, like, anything? When it doesn't work, just do
Yeah.
that. So I was surprised to see them saying, oh, it's actually not going to fix anything. I was like, what?
Things I wish my ISP would tell me.
What?
It's like, oh yeah, turning it off and then turning it back on is not gonna fix anything. Let's actually solve the problem.
I know, right? It's like, have you tried turning it off and then on again?
Why do you think I'm calling you?
It's always funny. Like, why does it fix it? I don't know. Human technology is amazing.
Well, like someone had told me the reason why. They're like, oh, it's because it resets like the cache, like because the more you run like the Wi-Fi, it'll like have all this data stored up to kind of like help upload certain websites that you visit.
Mm.
So fellas, if you realize that the orange YouTube is loading faster, that's why. You're going there a little too much, amigo. So like when you reset it, it clears it, and then supposedly that helps. Because I've noticed that like it'll be slow with some other websites, but then the ones that I visit are working pretty much fine for whatever reason.
That's interesting.
It's like what websites? That's for me to know and for you to die over if you find out.
You know, curiosity killed the cat. Kind of deal. Do you have any like hobbies?
I mean, as far as hobbies, I used to have like. Here's the thing: a lot of my hobbies became actual work. So like,
Yeah.
I used to play, for fun, and then, fresh out of high school, you know, teachers in like the school program, they had their community group, and they're like, oh, we would like you to join. We'll pay you, and you're like, oh, okay. And then, you learn to hate it little by little because you're like, oh, it's like it's not as fun anymore because I have to do it, not because I want to do it.
Yeah, it's important to keep hobbies as hobbies, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays when it's because like streaming for me is a hobby. Like if I make money off of it, it's one thing, but I'm not looking forward to it. It's just kind of like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's my mentality too.
It's like I'm fortunate enough to be like every 3 months it pays off my internet bill.
Oh, that's nice.
So I mean that's cool. So I mean there was one time where because I got so used to it and that was like my mistake. So the one time where it couldn't afford my internet bill, I was like, what? Huh?
Huh? Nani?
But I wasn't like salty about it. I was just like, oh, that's actually kind of funny. I mean, other than that though, like typically I try to focus on my health as far as like fitness goes, but I've been kind of bad about it lately because work has just been tiring. So like once you're mentally tired, you just don't want to do anything physical.
That is a mood that I can relate a little too well.
That and like the weight gain was real when I took that week off of streaming
Yeah, I heard about
because
that
I
a
was
little
like,
bit.
yeah, I was like, let's do all these things I want to do or like things I want to do on my own. So I was like, let me go try the A&W for the first time ever.
You never had A&W until now?
Yep. I mean,
Huh.
there used to be one in my town, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when you have Hispanic parents and like or like a Hispanic upbringing, not really, and then one of your parents are Filipino,
Mm,
A&W is not the thing they're looking for.
I see.
And it was still there for a while when I got my first job, but I was doing grander things with my money.
Mm.
And by grander I mean like pretty much stupid things that you should never do. Like when you go to the club and then you find your former teacher dancing there.
Wah, wah, wah.
And you're like, "Really? I was failing your class for the entire year because you were here busy throwing it back for 20s and 50s?"
I, I made it work.
Yup.
Ah, la, la.
So like it's like, "Well, I got grounded for this shenanigans." It's like, I'm gonna make your evening miserable." And it wasn't even like bad. It was just like just go to the strip club owner. It's like, "Hey, so like or the manager, my bad." And it's like, "Hey, so like I want to request a specific dancer." And so we had the teacher do like the private event.
Oh no.
And she was like, I can't believe you're fucking doing this to me. It's like, well, it's like, I can't believe I got grounded for failing your class or was about to fail your class the entire year, and yet you're throwing it back.
Oh, you're the vengeful
It's like,
kind.
I mean, I, she got tipped nicely. I was like, it's like, I didn't mean it with malice. It's like, I just kind of found it funny. It's like, that's still fucked up. I was like, I know, but you don't understand that I also got things taken away because of this. I did apologize though.
I was like,
And even then,
oh. She
And
got good
even then,
money at the end, so
yeah, she wasn't too mad. Would never do that again, though, no matter who the dancer was. Because that is definitely like a one and done type of like scenario.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like other hobbies that I had back in the day. I mean, I used to like going paintballing.
Oh, paintballing.
Yeah, you know when you like have the pellet guns with the paintballs?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was fun for a while. But then you realize like you're just one faulty piece of equipment away from losing an eyeball.
That is true.
'Cause I've had goggles like shattered in my face because I got hit with the paintball. And I was like, "Oh my." About to tell mom, it's like, "Mama, I became a pirate."
Arr.
Yarg.
It's kind of on brand. We're on SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, huh? It just clicked.
After that's gonna be my last. I will have to leave.
Yeah, no worries. I wonder what happened to Patchy the Pirate, actually.
You know what? I don't know what happened to this guy.
That man was like so fundamental to my childhood.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain.
Uh, he
I can hear you.
was fundamental to a lot of kids.
Just like our boy Steve.
Yeah. That show actually made me try peanut butter apples. Never looked back.
Really?
Yeah. As a child, I remember vividly why I started eating it like that.
I'm struggling to get this part of the handle. Oh, that's better. I'm actually really glad you started cleaning this building before I got to it, because I would have done some childish shit to this.
No, now I'm sad I did because I wanted to see what it would have been.
All I'm saying is that all the letters would be clean except for the H.
La 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 la.
It's like 30 plus years on this planet, and you still have the mentality like this. It's like, I don't know, man. It was funny at the moment.
It's kind of funny, not gonna lie. Simple humor is nice sometimes.
Sometimes it'd be like the best humor.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. Let me get all these letters. There we go. Wait, Wait, what? What else is missing?
Uh, sign letters. One of the letters are missing. It's
Uh,
sign letters. Which one? Krusty.
it's
Oh,
not the
that at
jump.
the it's at the jump against Krusty Krab. Oh, do you think it's
Oh, it's the H.
the then the sign pole itself? This thing. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
it
not clean as
doesn't
well.
reach.
Wah wah wah. Even with the extra long one?
Yeah. Oh, we're missing the handle here too.
Oh right, I didn't finish the handle. I cleaned the glove and went to see what was missing.
Let me see if I can get that real quick. No, I got to move the whole ladder. No, my phone.
One nail of the Krusty Krab. Where is that nail?
Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
Did we nail it?
Chat, just use that in the bedroom. Just in the middle of just in the middle of it, just be like, "Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?" I promise you, it'll get them every single time. I'm not responsible for the results. There we go. We got the handle. Yay!
Dumpster wheels.
Okay, now I'm gonna bring this over here to clean off the letter H.
As for me, as far as hobbies go, other than like music and stuff,
Mhm.
I think I shared it. Like you know the 3D print that I painted and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's definitely one of them. But it's weird, like you want to share it, so I don't know if it's considered a hobby anymore. If you share it online and shit, is it still a hobby?
I think it's still a hobby. Because I mean, sometimes you just want to like, you do something, you're like, "Hey, I gotta show this off."
Yeah, that's kind of my mentality on it. I don't know. I guess the regular, I like drawing and stuff like that. Um,
I've wanted to like get into vinyl printing
oh.
for, for like those degenerate shops that sell waifu stickers. But the problem is, it's like the equipment is so expensive.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's sad.
especially if you want to do it like on mass production. Dumpster rim.
Yeah, there you go. I got it. Sign pole.
I could have sworn I got the pole. What the hell?
There we
Oh,
go.
it's like that one little smidge at the very top.
It's always this one little spot.
You're just like, why? And that is a job well done. Let's go.
Let's go. Alright,
And
alright.
you said this was your last one?
Yeah, I unfortunately have to go. I had to end it early.
No, you're good. Well, it was a pleasure to hang out with you, though.
It was a pleasure to hang out with you too. We should have done more.
Maybe next time we'll make something happen.
Yeah. Alright. And I'll say to my stream, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye!
All right, you have yourself a good night.